Hello guys, this is Sir Idolot here and we're going to be talking about my Paladin build in Where Winds Meet. So let's get this started guys. So first things first, I have Thundercry Blade in Panacea Fan. You can use the umbrella, you can also use the spear here, but we'll talk about them more. But spear is necessary, you'll also need it as a secondary weapon because you will need it for tanking bosses that are very like the aggro's random, right? But most cases you can do Thundercry just fine. But anyways, let's talk about the weapons first. So let's talk about the healing weapon first before we proceed with the tanking weapons. Healing weapons, this is a no-brainer. This is like one of the best weapons in the game for healing. Even if you're not a main healer, this will still really good you do you some good real heals in this one. So it's got two kinds of heals. One is like a AoE heal, and the other one's kind of like a single target heal, where it would prioritize low HP peeps, I believe. Yeah. But basically, it's just all about healing, right? It's really nice. You're not gonna use this for damage. Don't worry about it. So more on healing, right? This is where your kind of your paladin playstyle comes in. And then here is the other weapon that we're going to be using on the main weapon, which is the Thundercry blade. Now you have two options in this one. You can mainly play Stormbreaker Spear, but Stormbreaker Spear on solo content it sucks. Your damage is very low. So Thundercry Blade is definitely my pick for PvE content. But as for hard tanking content or maybe hard PvE dungeons, you will probably need to use Stormbreaker Spear because it's got a lot of tanking capabilities, and mainly because this is the only weapon currently that we have that can aggro bosses. The Thundercry Blade cannot really aggro bosses, so this is only used on bosses that have like when you hit them as a tank, they're gonna focus right away. Some bosses are erratic in terms of aggro, so you need this if you are facing those bosses. Now, um, I'm gonna tackle mostly on the skills here. So let's go with the Panacea Fan skills. So Panacea Fan skills. This AOE skill here. My tip here really is just to drop this every now and then if you can. Right? Don't drop it like your teammates' HP is very low. Drop it when they're not yet low HP, because they're going to take damage anyways, and most likely this is just something that you would have to rotate back to each time. And trust me, it works. This is for me the best one for healing low HP teammates, not that one. Because this one's for sustain, this one's for emergency heals or burst healing. So my opinion is when somebody's low, cast this first before you cast the AoE skill. All right, cast this first so you can heal the low HP person, and then you can come back to AoE heals. Um, so that's basically it. I don't really need to talk about it. This one is more or less like a healing skill. Today we might get this, the fan conversion. So when you switch to a fan and you swing it, it will restore HP for yourself and one nearby ally over time. So it's very important when we switch to this one and use the dual weapon skill, it will be like a good rotation, because when you rotate to it, you have released already heals and you're about to release more skills for healing. So it's very take note of that if you guys are playing a paladin role like a tank healer kind of playstyle. Now, let's go with the Thundercry Blade. Thundercry Blade, in my opinion, is so good. It's like damage wise, and then the tanking capability wise is so good. It's just one problem with it. It doesn't have aggro. It doesn't have any aggro on it. Like you have to. I believe. I don't know how the aggro works in this game yet. If somebody can explain it in the comment section, much appreciated. But as for aggro, you need to get this. You need to have two weapons in this build. You cannot only play Thundercry Blade. You cannot only play Stormbreaker Spear. Stormbreaker Spear. The negative in this one is the damage. Thundercry Blade. The only negative about it is it doesn't have aggro. So you need to alternate between these two depending on the content, right? But let's focus on the Thundercry Blade. Thundercry Blade, I do not spam left click on this one. My tip is this one is just use any of the charge skills that it has, and it'll be very, very good, right? And try to always block on this one, because blocking gives you fighting spirit, or regenerating gives you fighting spirit. So make sure to use that, because fighting spirit is gonna be something that you're gonna be consuming once you are using it. So this one, um, for example, this one at stage 3 consumes 1 bar of fighting spirit if available to boost damage by 20%. So it's very important to constantly block, or at least you don't need to deflect. This is not a deflect weapon. You don't need to deflect. You're going to probably give more value to your teammates if you're just blocking, right? And then on top of that, we have the inner way, exquisite scenery combination on that one. This is a I believe this is an inner way skill here. Very, very nice. I grinded it. If you are planning to main Thundercry Blade, you should definitely get this. But the alternate to this one is, I believe, the charge skill to the bosses. If you want to deal more damage to bosses, then this is really good. But only use this on maybe the spear if you're really, really serious about it, right? But the rest is really good. Um, we'll go back to this one and give you more suggestions, and you guys can give me your suggestions on the comments below. But anyways, Thundercry Blade, very, very nice. Just keep using the heavy attack. It's just way better. This weapon is not meant to be a spam light attack weapon. It's a charge skill weapon, and you're going to face tank a lot of mobs. As for the Stormbreaker spear, now damage for this one is not really great. So you can basically do light attack if you want, or charge skill attack. It doesn't matter, but I believe you still do more damage in the charge skill attack, especially if you have that the passive that we just talked about that gives you more skill damage to bosses. So make sure to know that. But this one has the aggro, right? The aggro is right here. It taunts. So very, very nice. So um see this one, you gain a 20% damage reduction. Now for tanking, they're both tanky. You're both tanky on both of the weapons, but on Stormbreaker you're more tanky, right? If you're gonna compare this to for tankiness, then definitely Stormbreaker spear is more tanky. The problem with the Stormbreaker is that yes, you gain like shocking, which reduces the damage dealt by enemies to you, and then you also get some damage reductions, I believe. Fortitude is not the damage reduction skill. I believe it's got some damage reduction skills in here. I believe that's the only one. Yeah, it's a debuff basically. Yeah, so it's good. It's good. So it is the best tanking. It's one of the best tanking weapons in the game. But for general purposes, I don't really use it. So Thundercry Blade is the best way to go. Anyways, we're done with the martial arts weapon. Let's go with the inner way. The inner way, there's a couple of here that you can really talk about or maybe put in here. But mainly, I would like to highlight exquisite scenery. This one, for me, is kind of like a 50-50. It kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's kind of good in certain situations. This is mainly to give you more chance to actually deal damage when you're blocking the boss, because you can literally face tank bosses with this build that I have currently using right now. So it's really good. But you have some alternate. But this is one of your options, right? You can alternate within any that you want that you feel like it's gonna work. But I feel like there's also highlights here, right? Highlights. This one is maybe a 50-50 on my end because it increases the healing and the damage you do, but when you take damage, and you will take damage, you lose out on it, and you have an increasing damage taken for like 5%. But after 5 seconds, you're gonna deal more damage and more healing done. So I think it's good if you're constant deflecting, but take note that this is good for PvE, I guess. But for bossing, do not use this one because this is going to really make it hard for it to attack. This one is good because I think most of our skills are healing, and the nurturing is a good thing to have, meaning it will give you more healing received. This affects you, and most likely, probably will affect teammates. If not, then it's only you. Then it's good for you, right? Because you're using fan, you're gonna have more sustaining yourself, and kind of takes the pressure off your healers, especially that they are going to be focusing on making sure that you're alive, but you're already alive because you're fan user as well. So they're gonna focus on something else than just fully supporting you. Another thing is this one is good because it saves your ass in a lot of PvE contents that will probably be hard for you. So this is also an option I will take. I'm not gonna take this one. I believe this is only for yeah. I don't know. This is not really, really good, right? But I want to highlight this one. Anthem is good because yeah, like I said, you're a tank, right? You're not really gonna do damage, but this one kind of helps you do stuff and not only tank, right? So you're kind of like generally doing almost everything. You're also doing damage, you're also healing, you're also tanking. So for people that like to do that kind of style where they're doing a lot of things with just two weapons, this is really a good option because this gives you more DPS option. Basically, we'll just move on from that one. Another thing is the precision critical damage. Use your counter boost precision critical. No, not really. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuffs here you can take, but there's a lot of the spear related. Like for example, this one, it grants you increased damage reduction on successful taunts, making you tank even further. So this is rock solid for tanking in the future. This one is really good for the great sword because it is your item. It's HP shields basically. So we want to take this one. This one is also very nice. But then again, you can also pick something else. But this one is also good for tanking. Mm, you're not gonna take this one because yes, you're going to be reviving people and make them whole, right? But the Panacea Fan heals so much that this is kind of like redundant in my opinion. But if you want to take that, that is really a good option as well. If you are interested in you know interested in doing more um, healing in the teammates, basically reviving them full HP. This one's also good for more damage because I believe our weapon is a blade weapon, so that's definitely something that you want to use. As for the others, well, there's not much really here that can, well, I could say that will give us um, more stuffs that we can put on. This one is also nice, but this is more of like a debuff. So this is nice, but I think DPS should be the one to use that, not us. What else? This one is actually good. Royal Remedy, because this gives you more healing and gives you more extra do. So you can dues is like the thing that you would use for like a resource that you would use on the Panacea Fan. So it's really nice. You need this one. I will be farming that. What else do we need to get here? Other than that, that's pretty much it. Like this one's also good. But when you only use like dual weapon skills, this one's really nice as well, more chance. So if I'm going to be setting this up with my current setup and I'm going to be using like, the this Thundercry blade, my setup would be I'll put exquisite scenery in there. I'll put probably restoring blossom in there, put that in there. So that's like they're like one, two, and then three. And then the fourth one depends. Like we could put the shielding in here, or more HP shields last longer, or if you really want to deal more damage to bosses, then the battle anthem. But there's a lot of options here. You can really mix and match this one, and right now it's just mainly for suggestion. I'll update the build more once we have more gameplay. I'll be posting more gameplay soon on my channel, so stay tuned for that one. But yeah, I'll be live, guys, and yeah, after posting this video, if you happen to be watching this one and you happen to be in the at the end of the video, please don't forget to follow us if you like the topic right now that we currently have. I'll be live on Twitch, I'll be live on TikTok, YouTube, and also on uh, Kick, YouTube, TikTok, yeah, and Twitch. So please see us there. I'll see you guys later. GG's, guys. What else haven't I talked about? Yeah, nothing really. Yeah. The gearings, not gonna talk about the gearings. Still early game. But yeah, see you guys. GG's. That's it. Bye bye.